What Blu Cantrell never told us about Jay-Z might flip the way you see both of them, for good. So here's my open message. Blu, it's time to speak up again. For years, whispers have crept through the back alleys of the music world, talking about a secret romance, a hidden pregnancy, and a silence that wasn't her choice. But what if that silence cracks open now? Was Blu Cantrell really wiped off the map to keep the Carter Empire squeaky clean? And here's the wildest part. Some folks believe Blue Ivy, the superstar daughter of Jay-Z and Beyoncé, might not even be Beyoncé's biological child. Yeah, we're going there. We're diving headfirst into one of the most twisted, mind-spinning theories in music history. And once we're done, you might never hear the word Blue the same way again. See, Blu Cantrell wasn't some random voice in the crowd. Nah, before the drama, before she straight up vanished, she was that girl. Born Tiffany Cobb, she came into the game with the vocals, the looks, and a powerhouse team behind her. She put in years singing backup for heavy hitters like Diddy, but in 2001, it was finally her time. Blu dropped her debut album So Blue, and it blew up quick. Her single Hit 'em Up style Oops was everywhere, radio, TV, clubs, she was running the scene. That album? Certified gold in just 2 weeks. Billboard 200? Check. 2 Grammy nominations? Check. Blu was doing press, hopping on big tours, and sitting at the same table as R&B queens like Ashanti, Mia, and Monica. But just as she was skyrocketing, things started shifting. And not because of her music. No, it all circled back to Jay-Z. Word on the street was that Blu and Jay weren't just cool. They had serious chemistry. Industry insiders claimed they were tight, like seen together at exclusive events, luxury getaways, even Diddy's private parties. Then Wendy Williams, messy as ever, asked Blu straight up on live air. Had she ever kissed Jay-Z? And Blu? She giggled, dodged it, didn't confirm, didn't deny, just gave that look and kept it coy. She knew exactly what she was doing, and that silence, it said everything. That one moment set off a media firestorm. Instead of shutting the rumors down, Blu lit them up even more. And here's where things get juicy. That same time, Beyoncé was launching her solo career. And if the rumors are true, Jay was caught between 2 powerful women, one fiery and raw like Blu, and the other polished, strategic, and perfectly brand safe like Beyoncé. In that same Wendy Williams interview, Blu threw a grenade. She hinted that Jay didn't pick Beyoncé for her talent, but because she was young and easier to control. That wasn't just shade. Looking back now, that sounds like a warning. A woman who felt used, tossed aside, and done dirty. And Blu didn't hold back. She called Beyoncé out for biting her whole style. Not long after, she vanished. No more press, no tours, no buzz. Arista Records quietly dropped her. It was like someone hit delete on her whole career. Was it bad timing? Or did someone pull the strings to make her disappear? Ask Jaguar Wright, another artist who's blown the whistle on the industry. She's been loud about it, claiming Jay and Bey blacklisted Blu and even stole her identity by naming their daughter Blu. Jaguar didn't bite her tongue. Jay-Z worked very hard to erase you and me. She meant that. By the time Blu tried to return in 2013, the game had changed. She told fans a new album was coming, called herself a free agent, but it never dropped. No songs, no visuals, no rollout, nothing. Then in 2014, boom, total chaos. Blu was found running barefoot through the streets of Santa Monica, screaming that someone was trying to gas her. She was hospitalized for a psych evaluation, and the media slapped the unstable label on her real quick. But hold up, was that really a breakdown? Or was she running from something darker? Now, here comes the wildest part. Some fans think Blu Cantrell is actually the real mother of Blue Ivy Carter. Sound crazy? Not once you start connecting the dots. Check this. Blu's career was shut down around 2004. No music, no appearances, no nothing. Total radio silence. Then, boom. In 2012, Beyoncé gives birth to Blue Ivy. The timeline? Sus. Why the name Blue? Some say it's Jay-Z's obsession with the color, but others believe it was way more personal, a secret tribute, or maybe a way to bury the truth in plain sight. And it gets darker. Some fans believe Blu was forced to give up her child, or worse, forced to end the pregnancy under pressure. They say Beyoncé's whole pregnancy saga adds to the theory. Remember that interview from 2011? Beyoncé sat down in a tight dress, glowing, but when she leaned forward, her belly folded, like, actually folded. People swore it looked like a prosthetic. That clip went viral, fast. Rumors flew about a surrogate behind the scenes. So if Beyoncé didn't carry Blue Ivy, who did? Some say it was Blu Cantrell, that she was forced to carry the child in silence, that Jay-Z and Beyoncé used their power to lock her out, erase her, and keep the truth buried. Jaguar Wright, who's been calling out industry secrets for years, has directly accused Jay and Bey of doing exactly that. Jaguar Wright didn't hold back. She straight up said they erased Blue. She claimed Jay-Z and Beyoncé used their power to rewrite the story, silence anyone in the way, and twist the truth until it suited their image. And that name, Blue Ivy, Jaguar called it a calculated move, a cover-up wrapped in branding. According to what Blue told close sources, when Beyoncé found out she was pregnant, she panicked. Allegedly, it got dark real fast. Blue says Beyoncé tried to poison her and then forced her into ending the pregnancy. That's what truly shattered her. Not the industry drama, not the deals, not the shady backdoor politics. That betrayal. People still compare Blue's 2014 mental breakdown when she was found barefoot, running through the streets of Santa Monica, screaming about poison, to the same playbook used on other celebs: Britney Spears, Martin Lawrence, Kanye West, and Jaguar Wright. You act out, they label you crazy, then they erase you. And this is why the whole Blue Ivy theory keeps coming back. Even if you do believe Beyoncé gave birth herself, the layers of secrets, silence contracts, and brand manipulation around it all, it just makes the theory feel a little too real. Just think. If Blue actually had a child with Jay-Z, what would that mean for Beyoncé's carefully built image? What would it mean for the Carter Empire, the billion-dollar dynasty? It would blow it all up. Jay wouldn't just be a man who cheated, he'd be the guy who fathered a child with another woman and then buried the whole thing. And Beyoncé? People wouldn't just question her loyalty, they'd accuse her of being part of the cover-up, or worse, the one who pulled the strings. Blu Cantrell wouldn't just be a forgotten R&B artist anymore, she'd be the missing link in one of the biggest scandals in music history. But here's the thing. Blu never went public with a baby, no birth announcements, no photos, no claims, nothing. She just disappeared. Exactly the way someone would if powerful people wanted her gone. This wasn't a slow fade like most stars who lose steam. This was vanish without a trace status. 1 minute Blu was on the charts, the next, poof, gone. And when you start asking how and why, the pattern becomes way too obvious. Let's rewind to 2003. Blu dropped her second album, Bittersweet. It was solid. Strong vocals, mature themes, even got her a Grammy nom. But behind closed doors, something was off. Her label, Arista, barely promoted it. Tours got cut short, radio support faded. Meanwhile, Beyoncé was ramping up her solo takeover. Blu was slowly iced out. And then, out of nowhere, her contract wasn't renewed. No statement, no reason, just done. Red flags everywhere. And then the copying rumors hit. Blu wasn't just being outshined, she said Beyoncé was jacking her whole style. When Blu dropped Round Up, a bold Western-themed video with dramatic desert vibes and stylized fashion, guess what came soon after? Jay-Z and Beyoncé's '03 Bonnie and Clyde? And the visuals? Uncomfortably similar. And the Sean Paul situation? Blu had a major hit with Breathe. Her duet with him was all over the charts. Then Beyoncé popped out with Baby Boy, also featuring Sean Paul, also riding a Caribbean-inspired beat with a similar vibe and structure. To Blu, this wasn't just industry competition. This felt personal, strategic, and it stung even more because Beyoncé had full support, Jay-Z backing her every move, big-budget rollouts, top-tier visuals. Blu? Her budget got slashed. Her PR disappeared. It was like someone made a phone call and shut her whole operation down. But Blu didn't stay quiet. She clapped back hard, especially in an interview with The Guardian. When asked about Beyoncé, she didn't sugarcoat it. Blu said, "I'm an adult. She's younger. And if she's doing what you're saying, then she's being a little immature. If she goes there with me, it's the wrong move." Then she added, "If you have issues with your man, deal with him. Don't come for the other woman." That was a direct warning shot. She was done playing nice. She wasn't just frustrated, and she was fed up. But what happened right after that interview? Silence. No more singles, no album, no promo, no tour. It was like she got ghosted by the whole industry overnight. Coincidence? Jaguar Wright says, nah, it's the same old game. According to her, the industry has a formula. If an artist won't play by the rules or threatens the wrong people, they get wiped out. She calls it strategic erasure. And she says Blu was a textbook example. Jaguar even said again, Jay-Z worked very hard to erase you. That line cuts deep. This wasn't just about two singers beefing over chart spots, this was about power. If Blu really had a relationship, maybe even a baby, with Jay-Z, then pushing her out wasn't about music. It was about covering tracks, protecting a billion-dollar story, keeping the empire clean, and the scariest part? The pattern doesn't stop with Blu. Other R&B queens were rising before Beyoncé's solo takeover. Maya, Monica, even the beloved Aaliyah. But right when Beyoncé started her climb, every single one of them hit a wall. Maya went from global tours and red carpet glam to dropping indie projects with no label push. Monica? Radio stopped spinning her hits. Aaliyah? She was already Hollywood-bound. Until that heartbreaking 2001 plane crash, right as Destiny's Child was gearing up for their final run. Fans started noticing the pattern, and many believe it ain't just bad luck. It's calculated, systemic. Jay-Z became president of Def Jam in 2004. Serious power moves. And around that same time, Blu Cantrell's contract mysteriously got dropped. Coincidence? Blu later revealed she was told to use a certain lawyer during contract talks. But that same lawyer? He was secretly working for the label too. That's a setup. Conflict of interest, straight up betrayal. Blu said, "If I'd known, I'd have gotten my own lawyer." That lawyer was working for them. They took what was mine. She had no control over her masters. Her royalties? Practically non-existent. And when she finally pushed back? Silence. No support, no stage, no microphone. Then came 2014, the night that would define the narrative forever. Blu had already vanished from the spotlight for years. No album, no interviews, no comeback, just gone. Then she was suddenly back in the news, not as a singer, but as a headline. She was found barefoot in Santa Monica, running through the streets at 2 a.m., screaming that someone was trying to poison her with gas. She was taken in for a psychological check, and the press went wild. Unstable, unhinged, washed up. That's how they painted her. But fans who'd been watching closely, they said this felt way too familiar. Martin Lawrence in '96, found in the street yelling he was being hunted. Kanye West in 2016, hospitalized after calling out Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and the powers that be. Britney Spears, controlled for years under a legal trap that nearly broke her. Whenever a celebrity stops playing nice or starts revealing too much, the same story rolls out. They've gone crazy. Blu's case followed the same script, almost too perfectly. But she didn't stay silent. Eventually, Blu started talking. And when she did, everything changed. She claimed her 2014 breakdown wasn't just a mental health spiral. It was the aftermath of trauma that had been buried. She said the music industry didn't just forget her, it erased her, betrayed her. She doubled down on her past claims, that her label lawyer was never on her side and that Jay-Z's people, maybe even his own circle, were part of the manipulation. They were all working together to take what was mine. Blu said she was used, set up, and then discarded like trash. But the wildest part? Blu claims someone tried to poison her with gas. That infamous Santa Monica night? She says it wasn't a meltdown. It was her fighting for her life. It was an escape attempt. And here's the thing. She's not the only one with this type of story. Tiara Marie, once primed to be the next big thing under Jay-Z's Rockefeller, she vanished too. Word is Beyoncé allegedly caught wind of her getting too close to Jay, and then boom, every door slammed shut. Rumors say Beyoncé sent a warning to every major exec. No deals for Tiara. If anyone ignored the warning, they got a visit. Then there's Kathy White, another woman allegedly linked to Jay-Z. Gossip started bubbling that she was pregnant and about to go public. The day before she was supposedly going to expose it all, she was found dead. Case closed fast. No autopsy headlines, no justice, no noise. And since then, whispers have only gotten louder, but not always about Jay-Z. Some believe Beyoncé made sure certain voices never got to speak. Period. So when you put all this next to Blu Cantrell's story, that breakdown in 2014 starts looking like a scream, not from madness, but from years of silence, betrayal, and fear. No label, no PR team, no help. She was branded unstable and erased, and the industry just kept on moving like she never existed. And Blu wasn't alone. As Beyoncé's rise became a global takeover, other powerful women in R&B started vanishing. Not falling off, vanishing. Mia? Grammy wins, Def Jam cosigns, massive collabs, including with Jay-Z. But just as Beyoncé was breaking from Destiny's Child, Mia's label support evaporated. She went indie, struggled with distribution, and later said she felt blackballed, like someone had flipped a switch and turned off her whole momentum. And Aaliyah, the one everyone knew was next up. She had Hollywood deals, global appeal, and unmatched charisma. She was the moment. But in 2001, just as her star was going supernova, she was gone. Some fans say it's not about conspiracy, it's about timing. Aaliyah was the last one who could have matched Beyoncé's rise. After she passed, no one else stood in her lane. And that leads us right back to Blu Cantrell. Because what if her story wasn't just a one-off tragedy, but the first chapter in a much longer, darker playbook? What if she was the test case, a warning to others? The music industry has done this before, and trust, it will do it again. But now, the cracks are starting to show. The truth is leaking, from whistleblowers like Jaguar Wright, from interviews that never saw the light of day, from fans who remember, and from documents that can't stay hidden forever. If Blu Cantrell was erased, who's next? And why are we still letting this happen? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives that uncover what the headlines won't say. You thought you knew the story, but we're here to show you what really went down. This was CelebBeatz, where no secret stays buried. See you in the next one.